Hi all, it's 24th of November and we're just going to revisit something called reserve setting. And I think all real estate agents, auction agents, well, any of them really, that we go through different cycles of the system. And I suppose the intensity of taking a property to auction and really getting all the buyers interested, then the agents have to deal with 2 or 3 buyers and processing them the same way, which is quite intense. And hold on, just don't want that to dry it. So you're doing the same things. You are talking to solicitors, you're dealing with their finance brokers, you're getting a lot of information to essentially their key auxiliaries, so that come auction day they are able to bid confidently and under the terms and conditions of the auction, which is 10% deposit and settlement in 30 or 42 days, depending on which company you're auctioning with. We tend to go 30 days, others go 42. So what we're finding, there's a little bit of a trend that we want to nip in the bud, and it comes with the intensity of the campaign. So you all have seen through our social media marketing where we have 100,000 odd views on average every 2, 3, 4 days, and we're sitting at about 7.4 million views on Google alone. So that tends to be about the same on Instagram and Facebook. So millions of people see our product. But what happens is that we, and other agents will be the same, they'll have different systems of marketing to mine, but eventually you get to that they have scoured the market for the buyers for your product. That's what we've done. And then you come to setting the reserve and going to auction. And that's the period that I'm talking about. We've done an immense amount, and you're talking about hundreds of hours of work that an auction agent has done, whether it's me or somebody else. So it's pretty important that we don't underestimate that work. But it can, what it has transpired over the last 12 to 24 months is that you go from some of the properties been on the market for a while, they've had no activity, and then suddenly all this marketing happens in an intense period of time. In ours it's 21 days, maybe 28 if we started early, but 21 days. Yeah, there's all this intensity. So you've got thousands of people looking at it on their social media. Sometimes you've been on the news, you've been interstate on the news. All these things happen, and the vendor gets overconfident. So what we have, and our auction reserve, I'm going to write them up. So you have the reserve price, and I'm going to let's say our goal is $1 million, just so that we're aiming at a simple number. So you've been listed, let's say you've been listed for $1 million, for instance, and the market feedback all through the time has been marginally below that. So nobody's come to the market with a bona fide 10% deposit, cash and 30-day offer prior to auction. That would be the market value, pure and simple. We're going to assume that hasn't happened. Where should we set the reserve? So first of all, don't set the reserve at your highest price, and that is the problem. So let's say you're wanting 1 million and the market feedback's about 800. That's where your reserve should be set. That's level 1. Maximum 800. Now, your agent's going to be trying to get a lot more than that because he's on commission or she's on commission. Let's face it. We have another level. Level 2 is a refer to me. Refer to me if bidding stalls. So that tends to be 20% below your reserve. So we're looking at, say, 640,000, and the last level, what you won't take, and let's say that's 550. Now, what we're finding at the moment is the people get excited. So they were on the market at 1 million. So they see all this activity from the buyers, bona fide buyers coming through, valuers, financial brokers, all the vendor reporting coming back. Thousands of people have viewed the property. So they set their reserve at 1.2 million. Which is, it's a mountain that just can't be breached. It's a reality that if I start my bidding at 500, and remember, most agents will only have 2, 3, 4, 5 properties going up at the same time. They got plenty of time. The auctioneer's got plenty of time. He's there all day. So we want confident bidding. We don't want one bid. We want numbers of bidding, live bidding. So we start off at 500, 550, 600, 650. Bid them now 700. So we want it's smoother, and chances are we'll go through a realistic reserve. But if we start at 500 and they're bidding 550, 600, and they get the feeling that they're not getting near the reserve, they stop. And if we stop at 700, we're not going to get them going again. We're not going to get them through that first reserve of 800, 850, 900, 950. They're not excited because they can't own they know they're not owning it. We haven't announced it's on the market. So the agents have done an incredible job in marketing an auction. It's far more intensive. They certainly earn all the money and with all the skills and upskilling and auctioneers courses and sales training courses they got to do nationally and internationally to keep up to speed. So their skill level is like a surgeon opposed to a GP. So that's what you've hired, and you've got to understand there's no use getting to auction setting a $1.2 million reserve, which is your dream figure. The market will start away and you want competition, you're too far away. And I suppose therein lies the challenge, that your agent's been working. Remember, he doesn't get paid unless it sells. So he's working away. We've got to get it on the market. So once it's on the market, that's where competitive bidding happens. So let's say, for an argument's sake, you still want your $1 million, but we want to get the property on at 800,000, where we've got 3 or 4 buyers, and we get it on the market at 800. You've only got 4 bids at $50,000 each, and if you've got a good auctioneer, he'll control the auction. So, and he won't accept stupid bids. You know, you might see this crap on TV, and that's all it is. You go to a stock auction any day of the week, or should say any day of the week, you'll find them around the place. But the good auctioneers, they control the bidding. So it's at 800,000, it's only 4 bids to $1 million. So if you've got 3 bidders, they only get to bid one more time and they're at $1 million, but they know that they can own it, and that is where success or failure happens. So to go and set your reserve, let's say the market's, we'll use another figure. Let's say the market's at 500. You go and set your reserve at 700 or 800. You're up there by yourself. You own the property. So all the marketing, thousands of dollars have been spent. You will have spent some. The agent will have spent probably double, triple what you do. And you're going to find that it's going to stall in between these two. Let's say it stalls right in the middle at 6. Now, your first reserve is 7. Then come to me at like 650, and you won't accept 600. It stalls at 500, 580 or 590 or something. I've got to pass it in. And that's sad, because all the marketing is done. Thousands and thousands of people have viewed your property, and if they haven't come through, they've viewed it, looked at it and discarded it. So we as agents and auctioneers, we've filtered through hundreds and hundreds of buyers to get to this point, which is the auction. So I think we've got to spend a little bit more time on setting our reserves, and let's get realistic. Remember why you're selling and why it hasn't sold yet, and what feedback you've had, what honest feedback you've had. Because I suppose over 35 years, what we've found is that we can go back to auction seconds and third times, and we do that on a regular basis. Sometimes it's a remote property, sometimes it's a unique property, so it takes 2 or 3 auctions to happen, but your best price is your first auction. They're the ones that are keener, they're the ones that have seen it for the first time. They come in and they go, hey, but they're also the ones that get buyer's remorse, and within 48 hours, they're gone. They've gone and buy something else because of the intensity before the auction, the intensity of bidding cash unconditionally on your property. So take some time, don't be greedy setting your reserve. Listen to what's going on, listen to your agent, and help them help you. It's not you against the agent or you against the auctioneer. You set the reserve too high, all the marketing in the world, everything the agent's done, everything you've participated in can fail. And it comes back to the only thing that's going to stop a successful sale at auction 90% of the time is an unrealistic reserve. Now that comes from an uncle that was in it for 40 years, and it's true to this day that an unrealistic reserve will torpedo all the good work that's done, and those buyers will not hang around. So take it on board if you want to. If you don't, that's fair enough. But your agent is working with you, not against you. They want to get paid at the end of the day, and they want to help you move on to your next project. Move on, or whatever reason you're on the market, you're retiring, whatever it is, you've decided to go to auction, your auction agent's really working hard for you, The other ones are up at 2 o'clock in the morning loading ads and writing scripts and chasing up all, you know, finance and valuers and all these sorts of things for the auction. So they're not there to waste their time either. Have a great week. It's week 48, I believe. Not long. We've got about 30 days to Christmas. Have a great week, and any questions about, you know, we have a different reserve form, which is 3 levels. Not all, some just have the 1 level, and that works well. That'll work well for them. We have the 3 levels, only because we don't always have our vendors in the room, or we don't always have them connected. So one recently, they wanted to adjust their reserve, and unfortunately we didn't have both vendors, so we couldn't do that. So they had set their reserve too high. We couldn't readjust it because we needed both signatures, and that's just one of those things. But and once again, you've got to assume that sometimes all we can do is go on those authorizations. So it's too late to come back to me 2 hours later, 2 days later to say, oh, we'll take that bid. They go, they walk. So there's just something about setting a reserve. There's not a lot out there about it, so I just thought I'd put that out there for you guys. Have a wonderful week, and feel free to give me an email, text or phone call. Got any questions about it? 0402970217 Brian at brianmcmanusrealestate.com. Thanks.